Alright, so I wanted to just make a video of the last piece of soapstone that we're finishing up on our house. And this is for the fireplace mantelpiece, or the hearth rather. And the hearth is going to be about 16 inches deep, and it has an arch shape to it. Okay, so you can work with soapstone. It's fairly simple to do. You just got to have a lot of patience, take your time. You don't measure twice and cut once. You measure 3 or 4 times and cut once. You got to make sure you've got all your cuts just right. And then you just have to take your time on your cuts. So you can do it with relatively simple hand tools. I use a grinder with a diamond tip blade in it. It comes in very handy for doing smaller cuts or some specialty cuts. The primary tool that you'll use, or I've used, is just a traditional handsaw with a diamond tip blade in it. This one has already cut about 70 or 80 linear feet of countertops that we put in our home. So it's got a lot of use to it. I'm still on the original blade that I put in. Again, it's a diamond tip blade. You just need to have a good saw, but the dust is very hard on these saws, so you don't want to put your best saw, if you're a professional, on it, because it does take its toll. All right, so I'm getting ready to make the very last major cut on this particular slab, and you can see the slab down here. We have already cut off, and again I mentioned that it's going to be in the shape of an arch. So we've already used the circular saw to cut off to basically get the general shape of it. So we have, this was on the other side, but yeah, you can see how basically we used a circular saw somehow in here. I guess it fits like that. Actually, I made 2 cuts in here, and that's why it's not lining up. I cut it once and then cut it a second time. On this other side, I only cut one. Made 1 cut, staying outside of the edge of the material, and you want to stay well away from your line because you can get some chipping at times. I've got just a small little place right here, so you want to make sure that you're very careful on your cuts. What I did this time is, in order to get the arch shape, is my wife and I laid it out on the driveway. You can see we're just working outside. You cannot do any cutting inside. It makes way too much dust. We laid it out, and we determined that this particular arch is in a 20-foot diameter. So we used a radius of 11 feet. She actually was out 11 feet, held a point on the ground, and I traced it around on the little piece of wood that we got here, the luau, and basically we've got a nice circular arch. It's very important that you get your template right when you're cutting this thing. So with the particular router that I'm going to be using, and this is it's got the larger diameter router bit in here. It's just a straight bit, but that's what I'm going to use to get my final cut in here. So what I've done is I've taken the template and we have moved it back 2 3/4 inches, which is the distance from the outside of the router to the edge of the blade in this particular router's case. So we've moved the template back, and now I should be able to just lay this up against the template, going nice and slowly, and get the final shape that I'm looking for on my hearth stone. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this. You can see about the speed that I have to move at. It's really very simple. It's only going to take probably about a minute to get through it. But again, you have to be very intentional. It does generate a lot of dust. So you need to wear a dust mask when you're doing your sanding and so forth. But when I'm doing cutting, the more important thing is the glasses, the safety glasses, because little chips will fly off and you don't want to damage your eyes. So I've been having a little bit of difficulty with steam. I'm just using a little simple dust mask, but I'm gonna try it with the dust mask and the glasses. But sometimes my glasses fog up. The eyes are more important in this particular case, because it really, when you're doing the cutting like this, it doesn't generate so much dust. When you're sanding, it generates a lot of dust, and when you're using the circular saw, it generates, or the hand saw, it generates a lot of dust. So let's go ahead and have a whack at this. And it's already fogging my glasses up, so there you go. Just clean those off real quick. And get ready to go ahead and make our cuts there. Okay, generally most routers have a leading edge, and you can pull to or push away from. It's actually easier to pull it to you. I think that's the proper way it's supposed to be done. So let's go ahead and get it going. That wasn't good. My router came apart. My router bit just came apart. So that's the end of the demonstration. I've just got a little bit to go. I put my router bit back together. But again, it's not too difficult to work with. You can do it if you just take your time and are willing to learn a new little trick. That's it. Thanks.